I'll just go. We'll just go in. We'll just go in order here. I guess we'll do it. Barrett, would you like to speak first, and tell them what judgeship? I know there's Part B, Part A. This is Barrett Painter. Thank you.
Good evening. Dan said I'm Barrett Painter, and I am running for General Sessions Judge Division 2 here in Bradley County. Sessions judges are Bradley County only, unlike what Bill and Van are running for. They're running for the 10th Judicial District, different judges, but in the 10th Judicial District you have 4 counties that you're running in. But I'm running for Sessions Judge Division 2 in Bradley County. The current judge is Sheridan Randolph, and he does primarily criminal cases, misdemeanor cases. He hears arraignment, sets bonds. But Sessions judges are interchangeable. Dan Swafford is the judge in Division 1, and he hears primarily civil and juvenile cases. And I'll get into that a little bit more as I go on, but let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up here in Bradley County. My parents are Harlan and Lynette Painter, and I was truly blessed to be raised by parents who taught me moral and ethical values both as a child and later on when I worked for my dad at Bell & Associates. And that's what's set the tone for the way I've lived my whole life. I married when I was 20 years old. I was still in college. My dad told me, "You're crazy. You don't need to do this." And he's probably right. But one thing I learned was that he taught me how to treat women, and he taught me how to be married. And I've been married now for this will be our 34th year coming up this year. So we've survived the odds, and my wife has been a big, vital part of that. Some of you know her, and she's the rock of my life. We have one son, Sam, who's 22 years old. I graduated from Cleveland High School, went to college at first year was Lee University, and then I finished my college at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I worked locally and for a company in Athens, Georgia for a few years, and the company in Athens sold their business, and I decided what I want to do with my life. And I'd always thought I wanted to be a lawyer like my dad. And I came home one day and I told my wife, "I'm going to go to law school." She looked at me like, "Oh no, not again." But I made up my mind, and I knew what I wanted to do, and I went to law school and talked to my dad, and fortunately I was able to come back and practice with him for 9 years. And during those 9 years, started in '92, during those years that I practiced with him, he taught me so much, working at Bell & Associates, not only him, but all the other lawyers that were at Bell & Associates. And they really taught me that when you have clients, and when you deal with people in general, you treat them with honesty, with integrity, and respect. And I think that's been the cornerstone of my legal career. After I worked at Bell & Associates, I worked at Logan Thompson for a few years, and I had the pleasure of working at Chancey Canavas Love & Painter for the last, since 2005, however many years that is. I lose count now. And I've done primarily divorce work and Social Security disability hearings since I've been at Chancey Canavas Love & Painter. But a couple of years ago, it may have been a year or two ago, our current chancellor was up for a Court of Appeals appointment. And I thought to myself, what do I want to do with my legal career? And I thought, well, I think I want to be a judge. And I had started the application process to apply for that position in case the chancellor got appointed. She didn't, but that piqued my interest. And when these elections came up and we had a judge that retired at circuit court judge, I thought it's time for me to do something, and I decided to run for judge. And after talking to a lot of people, I decided they were telling me, "Barrett, we'd like to see you run for Sessions Judge Division 2, and that's what I decided to do. And I've made that commitment. Some people ask me why you want to run for judge when you have a successful legal practice. And it's something that I thought about and I prayed about and talked to a lot of people about, and I felt like this is what I need to do. I want to make a difference in our community. Sessions Court judges probably see more people in a county, particular county, than any of our judges in our judicial district. Whether it's through civil cases, whether it's through juvenile cases, or whether it's through criminal cases, you need a sessions judge who will treat people with honesty, with respect, and with integrity. And I believe I have those qualities. When I decided to run for judge, I started going out and talking to people and thought, you know what, I like this. I like getting out. I like meeting people. I like introducing myself to people. I like talking to crowds like yourself and introducing myself and telling you a little bit about me and why you should vote for me for judge. And I feel passionate about that. I want to establish a work ethic for Sessions Court judges that I think will enable, when people come before you, will enable them to say, you know, that person is doing a good job and is representing your county and is a beacon for your county. We have and you've heard Andrew Freiberg, you've heard Steve Crump talk about this, and I'm sure you hear it from other judges, candidates. We have a significant methamphetamine and prescription drug problem in this district. We have certain programs in place in juvenile court and in circuit court that help deal with those issues, and I want to further those issues to see if there's more programs that we can develop to help people deal with those issues. Sometimes having to serve time in jail is their only option, but surely there's other options out there that we can help people get off these awful addictions. Secondly, I want to hold people accountable when they come before me. When someone comes before me, we listen to the facts and we apply the law, and that's what I intend to do when someone comes before me. And I want to work with Sessions Court Division I to make Sessions Court more efficient. I think it's important when people come before you as a judge that you can get them into court and out of court in as efficient manner as possible. Judge Swafford has an overcrowded docket. He sees a lot of people both in civil court and in juvenile court. And I want to work with Judge Swafford, because these two positions are interchangeable, to help him with his docket, and in turn, he can hopefully help me with my docket in criminal court. But I want to make that Sessions Court more efficient. The other important part of being a judge is applying the principles that were taught to you as a child and as an adult. And like I said before, I had the best parents that anybody could have growing up. And I know some people are, when you say that, you think, oh, well, they were your parents and you're going to always say that about them. But I truly was fortunate to have my mom and dad as parents. And they taught me how to be respectful, be honest, and deal with people with integrity. And that's what I plan on doing. My dad was the city attorney for many years, over 40 years, I think, when he retired. He was the longest serving city attorney in the state of Tennessee when he retired. And he made a difference in this community. We used to talk about politics, and Dad was a long time Republican. And it taught me a lot about the Republican values growing up. And he always told me, oh, son, you don't need to be involved in politics. And I thought, as time went on, I thought, well, he was more involved in politics than probably anybody because his role as city attorney. He made a difference in this community, and I want to make a difference in this community. That's one of the main reasons that I'm running as Sessions Judge, is to make a difference in this community. I want to help the people in Bradley County, and I want to give back to this community what it's given me over the years. There was a quote or a Bible verse that I heard the other day that I think really says a lot about the judicial platform in the judiciary, and it's from Micah 6:8, and I want to read that. It says, "He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." I think that says a lot about how you should treat people, when they come before you. And I want to be your next Sessions Judge Division II. I ask for your vote and support, and hopefully on May 6th at the Republican primary, you will see fit to vote Barrett Painter as your next Sessions Judge, Division II. Thank you so much for letting me come before you.